Okay, we're rolling. Hey guys, welcome back to another Technique Tuesday. Today I am going to show you how to do, it's called Faux Patina. So we're going to make this antique-y looking card here, and it's quite a few steps. You may get a little dirty. You're going to get inky. I don't know so much that you'll get dirty, but I had a white shirt on and I decided to put my little apron on, and I like wearing my apron anyway because I'm one of those weirdos. But I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm kind of standing up because we're going to do some standing up stuff, and then I'll sit down for the latter parts. But so my hands will be at a little weird angle, and I apologize for that. But hey, let me stop talking and let's get started with what we're doing. Okay, so first of all, you're going to need 4 colors of ink. You're going to need like a crumb cake type color, a light brown. You're going to need some sort of blue. I chose Azure Afternoon. You could use like Lost Lagoon if you want, or like another lighter blue. You're gonna need a nice green. I used Mossy Meadow, but you could go with like an old olive type color. Mossy Meadow's a little bit darker. And then you do want like a rich brown. So we're gonna do early espresso. So you're gonna need all 4 of those inks. And then you're going to need an embossing folder. So the one I chose was Floral Spray. This is one of our new ones. Darn it, I think this is on back order, and I apologize, but when I did the video, I didn't know, or when I made the card, I didn't know it was on back order, but it will come back in. If it's something that you really, really like, go in and request that you want this, and they can email you when it comes back in stock. And I also use the old favorite, the Sunflower, and some other ones, and I'll show you that when we're all done. But first off, we're gonna take this crumb cake, and we're going to apply it directly to the embossing folder. And like I've already told you guys, this is not my favorite to do, but we're gonna do it anyway. So you've got your bumpy side here. You can hear my fingers with the bumpy side. And then you've got kind of your smooth side. So you've got these smooth areas here in between all of the leaves. That's what we want to get inky, okay? So we're gonna go ahead. Oh, I need my pieces for the card. Get the white out, that's the most important. The rest of it is just stuff. All right, white piece of paper, 4 by, I believe, 5 1/4. Yes, so that's the size you want, or whatever size you want. So I did a couple of these, and then I cut some tags. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in and you're gonna pat your ink on the embossing folder, just like this. We're gonna get it good and inky. Okay, you can kind of see how the ink's going on there. All right. Then you're gonna put your paper where you want it. So I kind of went for the middle. And on one of these, I just kind of threw it down so I wouldn't get fingerprints and it wouldn't smear. Then you're gonna close it. Now you're gonna grab your embossing machine. I got out the old one because it's what was handy. But you're gonna put it in here. You're gonna take your platform and you're gonna make your sandwich. Remember, what do we do? Fold first. Okay, so we're gonna put it in here. Fold first. Oops, don't worry about that. That was my embossing gun that fell down. All right, and then we're just gonna roll it. So there. Now let me get this out of the way. And that out of the way. Whoops. Don't worry, I'm fine. Nothing's broken. Okay, so now we're gonna take this out. And as you can see, we've got that nice tan color in the background in the grooves, okay? Now we're gonna apply all the other color on top. And I'm going to lay this open so that I can worry about cleaning it later. Actually, I'm gonna get a wipe really quick and wipe it off. I'm kind of OCD about my embossing folders. I know lots of other people aren't, but I really like them, so I want to try to keep them as nice as I can. All right, that's good enough. Okay. Get that to dry. And you can just wash those. It'll just wash right off. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this away because we really don't need this anymore. And now I'm gonna sit down, and I got some blending brushes because we're gonna blend those colors on the top. And This is really cool. And you're gonna need Versamark embossing powder, gold embossing powder. I think this would look really cool with copper too, if you guys wanna do that. So those are some other tools that we're gonna need, but let's get started with the brushing. So let me grab my chair here, sit down, and take a deep breath because I'm super excited as usual. Okay, so first we're gonna apply the blue. And what I did, so I wouldn't forget, is I stacked them in the order that we're going to apply. So that's a Sherry thing because my brain gets a little foggy every now and then. And I'm gonna try to make sure I keep my stuff more centered when I'm doing videos. You guys need to point that out when I'm not. So as always, when you do the blending brushes, you need to start over on the side so that you don't get this little, I don't know, stipple on your project. Unless you want it, that's totally up to you. But I always start over here and then just totally go for it. Round strokes, and just like that. See that? Isn't that cool? Oh, love it. Okay, reapply some more. I'm gonna come in over here on this side. Excuse my fingers, sorry about that. So we got a little bit of stipple right there, but that's fine. Not gonna hurt anything. And it really depends on how much blue you want on your project, because we're gonna be layering these. And I will say, you guys, I have never done this before. This was new to me. And these colors, frankly, are totally out of my wheelhouse. I am not a subtle color girl. I'm a brights, red, pink, purple, all of those colors. So the next one we're gonna apply is the Mossy Meadow. I have a smaller brush for this one. Same thing. Start over here, and you're gonna pull that green in. And a sample that I looked at was on Split Coast Stampers, and there's even a printout. So what she compared it to was a jewelry box. And I don't have any antique jewelry boxes or anything like that. Otherwise, I would compare it so you guys could see. But on the Split Coast Stampers, it is on there, and you can even print out the directions. So that's exactly what I did. I've been going back to the OG because before Pinterest, Split Coast was the place for ideas on techniques. And a lot of, I'm just gonna be the bearer of bad news. A lot of these techniques that you're seeing that are new, they're not new. They've been around for a long time. They've been around for at least my 20-year career here. So, but it's kind of fun to make something old new again, and that's what we're doing today. So, okay, I think that's enough green. Let me just go in and add a little bit more. And then what I did, because I wanted some of it on this smooth area, I just pressed it kind of hard and just rubbed it as much as I could. I didn't go in the round and round because I wanted to kind of get it on in those little grooves. So, okay, there's our green. I'm just not happy over here. I need a little bit more. And you can see it's starting to change. And then what the kicker is with this is the brown. So when you go in and add the brown, I just re-inked this, so it's a little sloppy. So I have to be really careful with this. And you can see the ink has already sunk down way into the brush. I didn't rinse it out yesterday when I was messing around with this. But look at how the brown goes over it and really antiques it. That's kind of cool. But my, like I said, my ink pad's pretty full of ink. I suppose if I pressed harder, it would apply a little bit more of the brown. Oh, see, and I just got a swoosh in there, but that's okay. Because what we're gonna do next is really gonna pull this all together. And, oh, I don't know if you guys heard that, but I put my kitties in the bedroom because they woke up and I didn't want them in the video. So they're upstairs retaliating and crying. Okay, so I think that's enough brown. If you want a little bit more brown, you know, please feel free. Just go in and you just gotta kind of mess with it, really. Okay, so there's our patina colors. Now, you don't have to add any gold if you don't want to, but that's what we're gonna do. Oh, I just broke my embossing. My embossing gun is so sad. Okay, here we go. I dropped it a few times and cracked it. but it still works. Okay, so now we're gonna bring in the Versamark. And you can see I've got gold on there. It's fine. These things they're fine. So here's the trick. You don't want to wipe because that'll just cover the whole paper. I have an example of that I will show you at the end of what not to do. So what I did is, well, first we're gonna do the embossing buddy because this will help the ink to stick on there and it'll help it to not go everywhere. Okay, now what I'm going to do, and the powder doesn't matter, it's fine, don't worry about it. So we're just going to tap, just light tapping. And we're gonna cover the whole thing. And because you can't see it, you don't wanna be too heavy-handed, okay? All right, now I'm gonna bring in the tray and we're gonna bring in the gold. And then we're gonna emboss it and we're gonna bring out the magic. So this is the fun kind of dirty part. I have embossing powder all over my bathroom counter from this. And there you go, you can see the powder there and it's just in certain spots. So you can apply as little or as much as you want. So since we're giving it the antique-y look, we don't want too much. But what's kind of cool is it picks up in those raised areas, which is really fun. And then when I dry it, you guys are gonna see what the magic is here. And I think that's plenty. Maybe a stitch, well, I always say that, like maybe a stitch over here. All right, I think that's enough. And I always have to use the tray because I'm a total slob when it comes to embossing. Okay, so let me put the lid on so I don't blow that everywhere because that would be a disaster. Okay, get this out of the way. Now, remember, we don't shake, we just dry and we move as we can see the color change. So my cord's really not that long. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? So I'll try to talk over it as I dry here. So when you emboss things, you kind of want to wait for the glittery part to start to turn, and then you know that you've gotten it completely dry. There we go. You see that over here in the corner? The gold's starting to pop. There we go. Oh, so pretty. Hopefully you guys can see that. And what's nice is when you just kind of tap that ink pad, you do get some of these spots that are smooth with that gold color. So it kind of just gives it like a sparkle everywhere, honestly. And I assume I probably could have dumped more powder on there, but I didn't want to overdo it. All right, I think we're almost done. I don't see any other spots. Now what you could do is, if it's not enough gold, now that you've already, I'm just not done shouting, I'm so sorry. Now that I'm already done adding the embossing folder, if you wanted to, you could go back up in here and add a little bit more, but I don't really think it's necessary. It looks to me like there's plenty on there. I don't know that this is dry. I just want to give it one more hit. Yeah, it wasn't. That's what I thought. Okay, now I've got that chalk all over my hands, but what's really nice is it just wipes right off. And you can even take a towel, like a bath towel or a washcloth even, and wipe that powder off. And it'll do just fine. So there you go, guys. That's the faux patina. So let's put the rest of the card together. I've got all my pieces here. And this little thank you is from, oh, darn it. Where did I put my notes? There we go. Greeting is from, oh, I'll think of it in a minute. I wrote myself a note. I'm so bad with that. It's from that new set that has the scarecrow. It just says, so thankful for you. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to do 3 rows of the twine and how to get it on there pretty perfectly. All right, I've got some gold, it's kind of everywhere. And I use glue when, sometimes when you glue down embossing folders, it's best to use glue. This is the linen thread. So one cool thing about this is when you do the crossing, you want to start out and you want to put your thread just like so, and you want a nice big piece so that you can tie a knot. And then we're just going to wrap it around 3 times. And then we're going to tie it over here. And then what we're going to do is when we go to glue it down, we're going to hide this little tie here with our greeting. That way it doesn't show where it's tied at. And then you just kind of move these however you want them. Just kind of, and you can bend the card just a stitch to get it to be like that. There we go. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna add some more glue here, and you can see the sparkle. Okay, speaking of sparkle, I'll tell you guys a story. So my daughter, she had some glitter in her room. And she threw it up in the air. And so the other day when I went in there to vacuum, because she's since moved out, when I went in there to vacuum, I'm still vacuuming up glitter. And I think it's been, I don't know, a couple of years. I was like, okay, I think I'll be vacuuming up glitter until I either A, remove the carpeting, or we sell our house. So, okay, so now we're just gonna mount this here. Just like that. So I hope you guys will give this a try. It's, like I said, it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse. And, but I still enjoyed doing it, as I always do. And I didn't bring my tweezers in, which is totally fine. Got a little bit of glitter there. A little bit of sparkle. A little bit of sparkle for our Tuesday morning. Okay, and then we're just gonna put dimensionals over this. And I put quite a few so that when you put it over the linen thread, it doesn't move, so it gets really sticky. And then, oh, I need to cut that just a little bit more. It's too big. Okay, here we go. There we go, guys. So there's your faux patina. I hope you'll give this a try. Now let me show you some other samples that I did. I only made one other card, but I'm gonna show you what I was talking about when you apply way too much embossing powder. Oh, and the sparkles. So we'll put these on at the end and you guys can go get a cup of coffee, but I use the low profile dots. They're gold. I think these are out of stock. I don't think we have them anymore, but I have so much of that stuff. So this is when I just took the Versamark pad and I just wiped it all the way across. You can see a little bit of the blue in there. It's for me, it's a little too heavy-handed. It kind of defeated the purpose. It's not terrible, but let me show you one where I didn't do that and I just put a little bit. So you can see the difference in the two, where this one's super heavy-handed and this one's not heavy-handed. And I think for this technique, you need something with some larger images. So I'm gonna show you, I use the Stone and Vine embossing folder, and it's not, same thing, it's not terrible, but it's kind of hard to see, and it's just not, there's just not a lot to pick it up to enhance it, in my opinion. I mean, by all means, if you wanna use a smaller image, please do. It's your card, it's your project, do what you please. And then I made another one. So you can see the difference. These turn out different every time, which is kind of cool. Like, so if you're making a whole bunch of these, see, this one's a little bit more, this one's a little bit medium, and this one that we just did together is a little bit less. So, you know, there's really no wrong way to do it, but I wouldn't be super heavy-handed with the Versamark because you're just going to wipe out everything that you just did. So let me show you one other card. So the other card I made, I just cut a tag out of the Sunflower Emboss, and this is from, I did write myself a note, the Tree Ring Embossing Folder and the Begonia Bell Greeting. And then I just tied some more linen thread up on the top and added a few of the little doodads. So anyway, hey, that is it for this week's episode. I hope you will give this a try. Thanks for sticking with me. I know it's a little long-winded, but there's a lot of steps. And if you do try it, please, in the comments, put a picture so I can see what you made. So please like, subscribe, and all that fun YouTube stuff that I always forget to say that I'm remembering to say. And I will see you guys next week for a new episode. And thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, love you guys. Okay, bye.